Hello and welcome to Business Lunch. I'm Nisha Podar and with me today is my co-anchor Sonia Shenoy. So good market today and yesterday, Nifty 50 which broke above the 18,000 level, which was very keenly watched out for a long time. That is being sustained very, very comfortably even today. So at the moment, more than 0.5% up on Nifty 50 at 18,100 odd levels. But it's the Bank Nifty which is really not cheering and participating, showing huge amount of underperformance on the flat line right now, more on the downward tick. When it comes to the mid-cap universe, the broader markets are also doing much better than the Bank Nifty is performing. So that pocket is performing well, pretty much in line with the key indices, and that's why probably the advance decline ratio, the market breadth is looking far better and in favor of the advances. On my screen, Axis Bank, because of a huge block deal, is seeing over 3.5% cut. And when it comes to one of the big gainers in terms of percentage, over 5% up in trade are Adani Enterprises as well as Divi's Labs. Sonia.
Okay, absolutely. I mean, for this market, right, it's all about those new highs. 18,000 is here, it's holding. The only problem is that it's given up a little bit of its gains. I think it's banks that are dragging today. So the Bank Nifty is in the red. But give and take, everything's been a fabulous market so far. We are just about 2% away from our all-time highs. Just testing the patience of the bulls a little bit. FII buying has been solid in the last 3 days. There's been in excess of 8,000 crores of buying. So looking pretty good over there. But let's get you all the top stories at this point. One stock that is under a bit of pressure is Tata Steel. It's trading in the red on the back of disappointing second quarter numbers. Nigel is here with all the details. Nigel.
Well, that's right. Tata Steel's numbers were a miss. The consolidated EBITDA didn't miss estimates as well as the margins. For Tata Steel, we look at the geographic breakup. And for the India business, well, the number came in, the EBITDA per ton came in at sub 9,000 rupees per ton, which was a miss in comparison to the 11,000 rupees odd that we were working with. European business more or less in line at around $115 per ton. Two big reasons for the miss. One was that steel prices were weaker. The second factor was that input costs remained elevated and they didn't get benefit of lower input costs, which could flow through in the coming quarters. The net debt as well ballooned up by close to 17,000 crores, primarily because of the NINL acquisition, the capex that they spent, and also they paid out dividend. Now, I spoke to the management on the call, and in fact, they gave us two big takeaways. One is coking coal costs will be lower by around $90 to around $100 per ton for the India and Europe business, which will be some bit of relief. And the second factor, they admitted that yes, the European business will struggle a little bit in the second half of the year, and the EBITDA will be low in the second half in comparison to the first half of the year, though it will not move into the negative terrain. CLSA, well, they downgraded the stock. They cut the target price as well as cut the EBITDA estimates. They expect the India business margins to improve, though they see some risk to Indian steel prices because it's trading at a premium in comparison to imported steel. While on the European business, they say that there could be meaningful downside to that business.
All right. Thanks so much, Nigel, for giving us a quick perspective and also the entire research on Tata Steel's numbers. It is also a muted affair for Tata Steel because of the stalwart, also known as the steel man of India, J.J. Irani, also sadly passing away. So Jamshedpur must be gloomy today. Let's now focus on some of the other earnings then. And Larsen & Toubro is the first stock on our radar from the construction space because the company posted a good set of Q2 numbers with a robust order inflow. In fact, our colleague Vivek Iyer has been poring over those numbers and giving us all the details and the analysis. Tell us, Vivek.
Well, that's right. So L&T, very good quarter. Company, in fact, has indicated that they've managed to meet the higher end of the targeted inflow band of 12 to 15%. The only sore spot as far as the numbers were concerned was the core EPC margin, which the company attributed to a weaker product mix, a project mix, also on the back of very volatile commodity prices. A couple of key highlights from our conversation with them. First is, as far as an update on the road projects is concerned, the company would be selling the entire road projects business in this particular quarter. They expect to complete the sale by end of FY23. When it comes to the Hyderabad Metro, analysts were expecting that too would happen soon. However, the management has indicated that the first priority there would be to reduce the debt as far as the Hyderabad Metro is concerned, improve the operational metrics, and they probably pushed it out a couple of years. When you're talking about the ROE guidance, very importantly, the management has indicated that they are looking to increase ROE by 1 to to 1.5% on an annual basis in the next couple of years, and that is something that a lot of analysts will take a lot of heart from. When it comes to brokerages are largely positive on the number. CLSA says that margins are likely to improve from fourth quarter FY23 from lower commodity prices. HSBC says that the divestment of ROE dilutive businesses is something that augurs quite well for the company going forward.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. That is on L&T, right? And the move over there. But staying with earnings, Nykaa is surging in trade after the company posted a decent set of second quarter numbers. Mangalam is here to tell us more. Mangalam, how are the numbers looking?
Well, these numbers are decent. In fact, if you just take a look at it quarter on quarter, there's been a revenue growth of 7% in an otherwise seasonally weak quarter for all the consumer companies. The second quarter is usually seasonally weak. And the key positive, according to me, is the EBITDA expansion because, on a 7% revenue growth, the company's EBITDA has actually expanded by about 33%. Now, what we need to monitor is the commentary from the company because we're still awaiting the presentation on other details. And the net profit, however, on a reported basis is flat on account of higher depreciation, finance costs, tax and lower other income. So nothing really to worry about. 7% growth quarter on quarter takes the revenue of the company to around 1,231 crores. The EBITDA at 61 crores makes the margins expand by almost 100 basis points quarter on quarter. And the net profit flat at around just 5 crores. But that's on account of the factors that I just mentioned.
All right, Nykaa is the stock in focus, but even though it's a good performance today, but if you really take a look at the 1 month performance, it's just trying to limp back. But also remember that the IPO lock-in period is getting over, so that's a big event, and also bonus issues. So keep this particular stock on your watch list. All right, on that note, let's shift gears now to the auto sales numbers for the month of October, and they are trickling in, and Sonia is sitting right next to me with all the number crunching. Sonia, tell us.
So, it's been a big mixed bag this time around, no two ways about that. The big takeaway is that exports are still under pressure. So let's start with Bajaj Auto, where the overall numbers have been under pressure because of the export sales. The weak wholesale numbers were led by a steep fall in exports. So overall sales were down about 10-odd%. Export sales under a lot of pressure coming in, both for the two-wheelers as well as for the three-wheelers. There was a big knockdown and total export sales down by 31%. The domestic sales were not too bad, actually 11% growth. In that context, the management did mention that it would take a couple of more quarters before some normalcy returns in the export markets. But in the domestic business, things have looked pretty good. In fact, domestic markets, they have gained market share in the 125cc plus segment. Let's move on to escorts. In escorts, the numbers have been good, both year on year as well as month on month. There's been a pickup. 7.5% year-on-year, domestic sales up 8.6%, and month-on-month is a double-digit growth that Escorts has seen this time around. The management commentary was also quite positive. The company said that demand has picked up, the sowing season has been good, above normal monsoon and higher water reservoir levels have aided the demand this time around. Let's move on then. You have many other companies that came out with its numbers. There was Ashok Leyland, there was Eicher Motors. In fact, talking about the commercial vehicle piece, Ashok Leyland did very well. 34% growth is what we've seen in their total sales. The medium and heavy commercial vehicle segment saw a 48% growth. Even Eicher commercial vehicles had a good run, about a 4% overall growth, and the domestic growth has been even better. It's a double-digit growth that Eicher saw in its commercial vehicle segment. For Maruti, now Maruti's numbers actually year on year, they look good, but that's because same time last year there was a huge supply chain issue and a supply chain constraint, because of which Maruti's numbers year on year look good, but they are not comparable because of the chip shortage issue. If you look at the compared to what the poll had thrown up or what brokerages had given out, the numbers are looking a bit disappointing. So festive season sales have not panned out as well for Maruti as one would have expected, and hence the stock is under a bit of pressure. So largely you'd have to say it was a mixed bag this time around. In fact, let's listen in to what Rakesh Sharma, the executive director of Bajaj Auto, had to say about their numbers this month.
It take probably another couple of quarters before normalcy starts to return. That's been our experience in the past when we've gone through these cycles. At a retail level, every month is better than the previous month. And that is very heartening, because it indicates that the markets are digesting at least the price increase which is taking place because of inflation. Actually, our shipments are running behind retails. So I would say that there is every progressive month exports should see a rise over the previous month. Retail story is a story of tale of two halves, actually, the upper half and the bottom half. And it's been a good festive, very robust festive, which has lifted the business, and the quality of the sales and the quality of growth for the industry and, of course, for Bajaj has been very good.
All right, so that was all the roundup as well as the analysis of the auto numbers for the month of October. On that note, while you digest it, we'll slip into a short breather on Business Lunch, but come back for more news and market updates for the day. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're still watching Business Lunch on CNBC TV18. On to some important national updates now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a high-level meeting in Gandhinagar last evening to review the unfortunate situation in Morbi, in which he was briefed on the rescue operations underway. Now, the meeting was attended by Gujarat Chief Minister and other top government and police officials. Prime Minister Modi, who is on a 3-day visit to Gujarat, will also be visiting the tragedy site today. My colleague Santhya joins us now live from Morbi to get us the latest on what's happening there. Santhya, over to you.
So right now we are at the accident site, and let me show you around. So this is that bridge. This is Jhulto Pul. That's what the local people used to call this bridge, a bridge made in British era. This bridge was closed 7 months ago for renovation and reopened on 26th of October. Now what you can see in front of the camera, you can see teams of NDRF, SRPF, SDRF, Indian Army, and local authorities. They are conducting the search and rescue operations. In fact, teams of Indian Navy and Indian Air Force are also a part of this search and rescue operations. Unfortunately, over 135 people have succumbed to this tragedy. Now, an SIT was formed to investigate the case, and FIR was filed. Total 9 people were arrested also. But there are multiple questions which still remain unanswered. So the municipal corporation body claims that it had no idea that the bridge reopened. That's a big loophole, because we are talking about municipal corporation which is responsible to keep a check on these kind of structures. The bridge actually came under municipal corporation. Second, the municipal corporation said that because it had no idea that the bridge was about to reopen, so that is why the local body did not issue any fitness certificate to the bridge. So the renovation work which was done by Ajanta Manufacturing Private Limited of Oreva Group, that was never checked by the local administration. No fitness certificate was given. No go ahead for the reopening of the bridge was given to the company by municipal corporation. And another thing which the municipal corporation is claiming, despite giving the tender to Ajanta Manufacturing Private Limited, issuing a tender is always a very formal procedure which has all the details. But the local body is claiming that it till date has no idea that what the capacity of the bridge was going to be once the bridge was renovated. So these are the important questions which Team CNBC TV18 has also asked the SIT chief. As of now, SIT chief has claimed that nobody will be spared. Talking about the number of missing people, the local authorities are claiming that only one missing person is yet to be found. But the local people are claiming that the number is higher. There are other people looking for their relatives. We also went to the hospital. We spoke to the victims also. And this is what they told us. They said that there was absolutely no local administration presence on the bridge on that fateful evening. There was no cop deployment there. There was nobody to tell the people, guide the people that how many people were supposed to be on the bridge at a given point of time and for what duration. No such details were given. The victims tell us that only a ticket issuer and a ticket checker, only 2 people were present there. And as you can see that this was the bridge. This is Machu River. The bridge was made in British era. It was always a tourist attraction, and it was reopened keeping Gujarati New Year in mind. In fact, the contract copy accessed by Network 18, in that also we can see that how the rate of the ticket, the price of the ticket was increasing with every single date. So as I said, multiple questions to be answered, and the arrests also which are made so far, only lower executives of that private firm.
Sure.
Accountability as far as municipal corporation is concerned is yet to be set.
All right. Thank you so much, Santhya, for giving us all those important details on the investigation as well as the rescue operations right from that horrid site of that unfaithful incident there. In fact, Santhya also spoke to the Morbi Range Inspector General Ashok Yadav on the ongoing probe into the bridge collapse, and she began by asking on the progress being made on the investigation so far. Listen in.
As far as the investigation is concerned, we have formed the special investigation team, and that team is working day and night with the additional manpower of 50 police officers. The team has arrested 9 accused so far. Today we are going to produce them before the Honorable Court for the further remand. The prima facie, the incident has happened due to the technical and structural fault. That is the first information that is revealed during the investigation. But we have asked for the all 360-degree angle into the investigation. All other are involved either from the company side or from the other agencies that we are taking into consideration. The investigation is being supervised by the SP level officer, and the entire team is assisted by the forensic team, structural engineer team, and all other scientific evidence we are going to collect.
So you mentioned technical fault, and we have seen similar tragedies across the country in the past. Talking about the laxities and the possibility of loopholes, regular inspections were supposed to happen. They were supposed to be conducted by the local municipal body, which did not happen. There was no fitness certificate which was given to the company to reopen the bridge. There was no communication between municipal corporation and the company about the increased capacity of the bridge post renovation. So clearly there are loopholes, as far as the municipal corporation is concerned. So what are we doing on that front? Because we always see that in these kind of tragedies, either private firm people are made the scapegoat, or the lower rung officers or the mid-level executives. So what about this case, sir?
Regarding the loopholes, our SIT team is taking care all sort of the loopholes which have been committed either by the municipal authorities or by any other agencies. Our team is taking consideration, apart from all these loopholes, the other structural, technical, capacity building, all angles are taken into place, and will come out with the full investigation, and nobody will be spared in the investigation. The action will be the strictest actions will be taken against the culprits.
Very, very unfortunate event taking place there at Morbi. But moving on, the Supreme Court has also agreed to hear a PIL seeking a judicial commission to probe the bridge collapse in Morbi, in which over 130 people have been killed already. The Apex Court has posted the matter for hearing on the 14th of November. The PIL has also sought an assessment of similar structures in Gujarat. Well, for now, let's take a quick commercial break, but lots more coming up on the other side, so don't go anywhere.